Welcome to a sold-out Staples Center in Los Angeles, where the Laker fans, they have title dreams this year, as Kobe Bryant and the Lakers, with the top seed in perhaps the toughest Western Conference race in NBA history. And they'll open up against the 8th-seeded Denver Nuggets, who won 50 games despite being the 8th seed. The NBA playoffs in its second day. And good afternoon, everyone. Along with Mark Jackson and Jeff Van Gundy, Mike Breen on hand, Michelle Tafoya will join us shortly. It's been a great year for the Lakers to get that top seed, led by a fabulous season from Kobe Bryant. Obviously, MVP candidate, one of the favorites. It is his best season ever, do you think?
Well, the question is, here's a guy that's accomplished so much in his career. Individually, he's had outstanding seasons, but this is his best season as far as being a leader, trusting his teammates, and making guys around him better.
Denver Nuggets, an offensive juggernaut with Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson, the top scoring tandem in the NBA. They can certainly score, but what do they need to do to be competitive in this series?
Well, Anthony and Iverson have got to produce offensively. They've got to play defense, but then J.R. Smith and Cleaves have got to come off the bench, and unlike last year, they've got to get big-time production. Both struggled in last year's playoff series against the Spurs.
So the Denver on the road, the Nuggets, as we look at our Taco Bell starting lineups. Iverson starting with Anthony Carter, Carmelo Anthony, and Kenyon Martin, who's healthy again, and Marcus Camby, who's had another terrific season for head coach George Karl. Pau Gasol, what a difference he's made since being acquired from the Memphis Grizzlies. Vladimir Radmanovic starts up front with Lamar Odom, who's playing terrific basketball, and Derek Fisher has been one of the unsung heroes for Phil Jackson. So the Nuggets ready to go, but it wasn't easy getting to the Staples Center. With more on that, let's go to Michelle Tafoya. Hey, Michelle.
Hey, Mike, you're right. They got quite a scare this morning. The bus carrying Marcus Camby, Eduardo Nájera, J.R. Smith, and others caught fire on the freeway on their way here to Staples Center. Now, first they noticed the smoke. The bus pulled over. Then there was a small but loud explosion which sent the players running off the bus, dodging cars and seeking safety on the side of the freeway. No one was hurt, and a second bus eventually picked up the stranded team members. One humorous footnote, Phil Jackson saw the scene on his drive here. He told me he slowed down, saw that everyone was safe, and sped away again. So I guess all's fair in love and playoff basketball, Mike.
Well, it's always difficult to get to the Staples Center. Usually it's traffic, but as you said, fortunately, nobody was injured.
Well, Mark, when they were playing the finals with the Pacers, ran into unbelievable traffic during the finals game that one year. You guys, I think you got to hear about 45 minutes before the game.
Well, they love their Lakers here, and they do some things to make sure that they're in good shape.
Well, they certainly do love their Lakers. It has been a great season with sellouts night after night here at the Staples Center, and the team has responded. They now get to open up in this best-of-7 series. Kenyon Martin just kind of flipped it up, hoping to draw a foul as the ball goes out of bounds. Still Denver ball with 7 on the shot clock. Martin and the Nuggets this year on the road, 17 and 24. And again, we know they can score. And it's never a question, especially with guys like Anthony and Iverson, as a foul call. Defensively, are they as bad as sometimes they seem, or are they a little bit better than we think?
Well, because their offensive numbers are so high, some of their defense statistically, points given up will be high. Field goal percentage-wise, they're pretty good. Points per possession, they're pretty good. So they're not nearly as bad, but some games are just awful.
Radmanovic breaks it up. Bryant pulls up and misfires. Odom with a nice save after Radmanovic. Kobe Bryant. I don't know what that was. Somehow it ends up in the hands of Carter. And a foul on Odom, who was in the wrong place at the wrong time.
And if you look at the Nuggets defensively, Anthony Carter, Kenyon Martin, and Marcus Camby are defensive first players. They've got to make sure that Iverson and Carmelo Anthony bring an effort and a discipline. They're gambling steals type players. They've got to be more solid.
But I think as a coaching staff too, you have to demand accountability across the board, and that's how you complete a defensive unit.
Offensive foul on Kenyon Martin, trying to help out. There you see the numbers for Denver. And again, because of the fast pace, they give up so many points, but they can certainly force those turnovers. Now, they've lost in the first round the last 4 years, but this is a much better team than we've seen the last several years, don't you think?
Well, to me, this is a much better offensive team, but I disagree with Coach because this is a poor defensive team. They have no commitment defensively because you look at the talent of this basketball team, they should be much better, and it points directly to their defensive intensity.
Carmelo Anthony was a fabulous offensive season, knocks that down. Of course, they'll say, now that it's the playoffs, we will focus on defense, but it doesn't really work that way.
No, habits are built throughout the season, and they play two small guards to start the game. When you play two small guards, it's very difficult.
Fisher for three. What a season Derek Fisher has had, his first year back with the Lakers. Bruce was always a fan favorite when he began his career and won 3 rings. But he's played extremely well. Marcus Camby, who likes that shot and is very effective. Lakers here at home, 30-11, as Kobe Bryant gets inside. Kenyon Martin is guarding him right now. That's as good a defender as Martin is. As Denver throws it away, that's a very difficult matchup for Martin.
Well, that's asking him to do too much. It does not matter how good of a defender he is. There's no way in the world he's going to be able to stay in front of Kobe Bryant. Not only that, the commitment to pursue stops on the other side and allows Bryant to get to the rim uncontested.
These teams played 3 times during the regular season as we have foul away from the ball. Lakers won all 3. It was before the Pau Gasol trade, and they haven't played since January 21st, so not a real good barometer. As Carmelo Anthony picks up his first foul.
The thing about playing Martin on Bryant is now Iverson has to guard Radmanovich. Carmelo Anthony has to guard Odom. You put your 2 best offensive players in mismatched situations.
And a foul is going to go against Radmanovich. Iverson trying to front him and got pushed to the ground. And Vladimir Radmanovich picks up his second personal, so he's going to have to come out.
And all you want from a guy, you understand it's a mismatch, but you want the guy to compete. That's a flop from Allen Iverson, but he works hard to get in front of Radmanovich.
So Radmanovich sits down. Luke Walton checks in. You see Kobe Bryant guarding Allen Iverson. Phil Jackson said the biggest fear again is that Iverson gets people in foul trouble. Kenyon Martin, the bank shot won't go.
I think the difference, too, you talk about George Karl and Phil Jackson. One guy is challenging his players, and Jackson saying,
oh, what a block from Camby.
And Jackson saying to Bryant, you defend Allen Iverson. Accountability, and then you're putting pressure on him, as opposed to George Karl finding matchups to relax guys defensively.
There's Camby, who led the NBA in block shots for the 3rd straight year. And Carmelo Anthony, smooth jump shot, and Denver within 1. Bryant. Now the Lakers like to run, and they play up-tempo and can score as Walton gets it down low. This time, shielding away from Camby. But Phil Jackson says we don't want to get into that same pace, and it's easy to get caught up in that when you play Denver, correct?
Well, the Lakers, like you said, Mike, great block by Bryant.
And then Camby knocks it away down the other end.
The Lakers are very efficient playing fast, and they also can slow it down and play in their triangle through the low post. And so, depending on who they're playing, you can control tempo by how you run your offense. Expect the Lakers to make multiple passes today.
Anthony guarding Bryant, and an offensive foul. A lot of whistles early. Kobe Bryant pushing off. That's the 2nd offensive foul.
One thing Phil Jackson said before the game and talking to him is, hey, we can run, we feel comfortable running, but we don't want to run at Denver's pace. We want to control the pace.
Allen Iverson gets inside, kicks it back out. Carter, good pass. Camby likes the baseline jumper, not that time. Here's Odom. Odom has been on a tear since the All-Star break as Carter pokes it away. Iverson gets a little help up after getting knocked to the ground, something you'll see throughout the afternoon. He's always on the floor.
One of the great things about the triangle offense is its flexibility in allowing different players to post up. Radmanovich got a post up earlier against Iverson, so too did Walton. Here he goes into the post again.
Fisher left open. Nice little ball fake. And Odom keeps it alive. Kenyon Martin has the rebound. Now you mentioned the triangle offense. For those unfamiliar, as Carmelo Anthony misses, just a little quick explanation. What does a triangle offense mean?
It means you really basically have 5 players involved.
Odom, nice pass inside to Gasol.
5 players involved where they're forming a a triangle on the strong side of the floor with 3 players, 2 players on the weak side, and the ball and your cuts are dictated by how the defense guards you.
So it's big on ball movement and player movement.
Correct. Or you just give it to Kobe and let him go one-on-one, which ain't a bad part of the triangle either.
Iverson gets bumped and can't get it to fall, but he'll go to the line.
Again, they're exploiting Iverson guarding Luke Walton. Easy paint catch. Great extra pass by Lamar Odom to the trailing Pau Gasol.
That's one of the reasons the Lakers this year were 3rd in the NBA in shooting, almost 48% as a team, as Iverson will go to the line. And how about Iverson? Once again leads the NBA in minutes per game. He's done it 7 times in his career. Now he's 32 years old now. This is his 12th year in the league, and every year you say, okay, he's got to slow down, and he just doesn't slow down.
And he's not going to. You're just amazed at the way that this guy can continue to take a pounding night in and night out. Doesn't take a possession off. Phenomenal athlete and an incredible career, and it doesn't seem like he's going to stop anytime soon.
The pass to Gasol, couldn't handle it, but saves it. However, broken up. Another nice play from Odom off of Anthony, and it's still Laker ball with 10 on the shot clock.
And I love guys like Iverson who played high school football. I think they have a different level of toughness. I've always been attracted to those guys who played football during high school.
He was a quarterback in high school.
No, he's just a different guy. This league has never seen anybody quite like Allen Iverson.
Odom kicks it out. Kobe Bryant. They have gotten away with a travel. Either way, it's a turnover on the 24-second violation.
That was great effort by Kenyon Martin on the closeout, and I like what George Karl did, taking out Carter, putting in Chiesa so Iverson could guard Derek Fisher and wasn't mismatched.
And I actually think their best lineup is with Allen Iverson playing the point guard position. Here's a guy that's a willing passer.
Hamby off the dribble. Can't get it for Kenyon Martin. Walton stays up on Carmelo Anthony. With Kobe Bryant already picking up his first, now they switch Fisher on Iverson. Falling away, puts it in. Bill Jackson called him. He said he's a remarkable athlete and said no one has ever been like him that he can remember that's played in this league.
I can remember playing with the Pacers, and we met the 76ers as Lamar Odom, the interior of the Nuggets defense. We met the Sixers about 3-4 years straight. Playing Allen Iverson, you just wanted to make him a jump shooter. When he knocks down that jump shot, you can forget about defending.
Anthony. Makes his drive, stumbles a bit. Kenyon Martin, the line drive, knuckleball. And Gasol the rebound.
Just like yesterday, I'd rather have Anthony in the post versus facing up on the wing where more help can get to him quicker.
There's Walton. Nice feed inside, and Gasol flips it in. Lakers off to a strong start, 54% from the field. And George Karl will call his first time out. And the Lakers will receive their first standing ovation of the afternoon.
Well, as Mark said, he's one of the most incredible athletes ever to be in the NBA. They're going left into his step-back jumper.
And on the other end, you talk about ball movement, man movement, rewarding it as Lamar Odom attacks the rim. And how about Pau Gasol? Beautiful hook shot. Kareem is saying, you stole my shot. You stole my shot.
The 2008 NBA Playoffs on ABC. Brought to you by Taco Bell. Think outside the bun. And Lincoln. See your local Lincoln dealer and get into any new Lincoln with nothing but your name.
Just past the midway point, first quarter in L.A. George Karl and the Nuggets down 6. This is his 4th year as head coach of Denver, and locker room before the game, he was obviously very tense with the rest of his staff.
Go, Bobby, get somebody, Bobby. Come on. You said you knocked me. What'd you tell you knocked me? What'd you tell you knocked me? What'd you tell you knocked me? What'd you tell that to? What'd you tell it?
Playoff pressure does strange things. George looked like a right tackle looking to pull on a...
Those 4 other guys certainly aren't the linemen for the Broncos. They were hitting not like powder puff football. Man, you talk about shying away from contact.
Although led the team to a record of 50-32 as Anthony knocks down another. The 50 wins most ever by a number 8 seed, and it's the third best record in team history. You win 50 games and you have to face the Lakers in the opening round. Odom. Nice drive, took his time, and he grimaced after he fell down. A slight limp as he's coming up the floor. That shot way off the mark. Here comes Fisher. Walton guarded by Linus Clazen. Part of a pretty good Denver bench. Nice move from Walton.
You like the patience of Luke Walton on the block. Waits until all the traffic is gone and then picks his defensive guy apart.
Hasn't been an easy year for Luke Walton. Injury is a big part of it. As Iverson misses, Walton tips it, but right to Carmelo Anthony. Camby keeps it alive. Camby's second in the NBA in rebounding, but he stepped out of bounds, and it's Laker ball as we send it over to Michelle.
Well, I think George Karl probably disappointed right now. He's asked his players in the last timeout to be more persistent and patient with their offense, to use the shot clock and not take quick shots. On defense, he said, everyone get a foot in the paint, help take away those easy buckets. And on offense, you saw they're still taking quick shots, guys.
Right now shooting 36% from the field. One of the better shooting teams in the NBA. Walton has been aggressive. Gasol, nobody on him. Lead is up to 10.
Right now, the Lakers are getting anything they want on the offensive end. Going through Luke Walton, the inside-outside attack, and getting good results.
Ball kicked by Fisher. Lakers have not played since Tuesday. That was the final regular season game, so you can bet they've been itching to get back on the floor.
And what they've reduced Denver to is a jump shooting team. And where Denver's greatest strength is getting to the free throw line and attacking the basket.
And that's a point that Phil Jackson made prior to the game. The one thing they don't want is Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson getting to the foul.
Odom couldn't handle it, but Gasol can. Eduardo Nahara in the game for Denver. He's guarding Kobe Bryant right now. Bryant for three. And there's Nahara, another one of the players in Denver who's a good defensive player. Jeff mentioned they got some guys individually, very good defensively. Fisher staying with Iverson. Nice feed inside, and Camby will finish. Iverson amongst the league leaders in assists as well as scoring.
Well, he's an underrated passer. He's a playmaker. That time putting pressure on the defense and then finding Camby underneath.
Odom, the jump shot. Camby tips it, lost it. Walton's done some nice things since coming off the bench. Bryant, nice feed. Pretty pass, and Pau Gasol with 8 points in the early going.
That's what we talk about in the open. Is this Kobe Bryant's best season? Well, all-around play. That time, an aggressive play with the sole mission to make a play for somebody else.
Camby, nice move, up and under. And Odom with the foul. And Marcus Camby. He'll go to the line after he goes to the bench.
Great player, but who are you going to make better? And Kobe Bryant's mindset right now, get other guys involved because I can take this game over offensively anytime I want.
Pau Gasol, in the games he's played with the Lakers, is 22-5, and his presence has made Odom better as well. This year, the Lakers, one of the most efficient offensive teams in the NBA, and they're showing it here in the opening quarter, here in Game 1 with this 10-point lead.
And what you're always trying to do as a basketball coach is get guys to give up good shots to get great shots, and their extra passes, turning down open shots to get the best possible shot. And it all starts with your best player in Kobe Bryant. When he gives it up, others too will follow suit. Here, a great pass to Odom. Odom open on the jump shot, decides Gasol's got a better shot. Tremendous offensive basketball. 18 points in the paint already in a layup drill. They'd have more defensive resistance playing 5-on-0 right now in dummy offense than the Denver Nuggets are giving them.
Now, your frustration with the Denver defense or lack of Is it because they've got the ability, and as you mentioned, they've got some pretty good defensive players to do it? It's sometimes they just don't execute it at all.
Well, I always think defense comes down to your best players committing to playing at both ends. Because if you really want to win, and everyone says they want to win, but if you really want to win, you're going to guard, because you can't rely on your offense to win it for you every night. And that comes down to Carmelo Anthony and Allen Iverson.
I agree with you. It comes down to the players, but it also comes down to the man in the suit, the head coach, demanding that you go out and execute defensively. There has to be accountability. It has to be preached every day, and then you go out on the floor and get it done.
George Karl has been a defensive-minded coach in a good part of his career. He's coached 5 different teams to the playoffs and tries to get them to play defense, but sometimes it's easier said than done. He preaches it.
Well, Jeff Van Gundy didn't try to get us to play defense when he was our coach. With all due respect, you demand it, and if you don't, then there's a price to be paid.
Yeah, but the relationship that has happened, you're scarred from that relationship for the rest of your life because of that.
You're right, but I think I'm going to make it, though.
There you see 5 different teams to the playoffs, including a good Milwaukee Buck team. He also led a Seattle Supersonic team to the NBA Finals in '96. His team lost to Phil Jackson's Chicago Bulls that year. As Carmelo Anthony hits the first. Reminder to visit NBA.com. You can get ready for the 2008 playoffs at NBAstore.com. Find the best selection of team jerseys, hats, t-shirts, and more. NBAstore.com, every team, one store. They're chanting DUI here at the Staples Center because of Carmelo Anthony and his recent arrest for driving under the influence. Anthony has apologized to the team, the franchise, the fans, his family. Said it was a grave mistake, he knows, and is hopefully going to learn from it. Nothing like that will ever happen again. But the fans seizing upon the opportunity as Farmar missed his ball, tipped back out, will try it again. Won't go.
Yeah, but that's low rent by the fans. That's like what you'd expect college kids to do. If you make a mistake in life, it's big enough to deal with the mistake that you've made, as everyone in this arena has made mistakes. To go after a guy about that, they're better than that, Mike Jackson.
And I like the idea. Carmelo says, hey, I made a mistake, owned up to it, and says, I'm going to learn from it. That's what you're supposed to do.
Bryant gets inside. Gasol is open. And Canby with another rebound. 8-point lead for the Lakers. Iverson bumped, and he'll go back to the line.
But that's Nuggets offensive basketball, the last 2 possessions. Anthony posting and going to the basket. Allen Iverson in the open floor, not settling for the jump shot, crossing it over and going to the rim. He is murder in the transition game where you can't get your defense set and get that first help defender there. He's got too much off the dribble.
And again, he gets to the foul line. He gets opponents in foul trouble. He had a 51-point game, his season high against the Lakers in a loss earlier this season back in December.
I think if you're Allen Iverson, you're doing Jordan Farmer a favor if you pull up in transition and shoot a jump shot. You're taking the pressure off of him. That time, turning down the jumper, putting his foot on the gas pedal.
Now Denver's on zone, yeah. Which they've played some with varying degrees of success, but it does take away some movement.
Odom misses, ball last touched by Odom. In the NBA, though, it's hard to be successful defensively if you play zone for any long stretch.
Depending on how you play it, I would agree, because most players, the number one reason it's not successful is most players don't believe in it. And they're not going to give you the same effort in a zone as you could coax out of them in a man-to-man.
I think whatever defense you're playing, the guys that's trying to execute it has to have a commitment to it.
Iverson misses. Well, the battle for the boards has been pretty fierce. Farmar kicks it out to Walton. Farmar left open again. Puts it in. Three-pointer for Jordan Farmar, the 21-year-old out of UCLA.
We say a commitment to it. Jordan Farmer is a shooter coming in off the bench, an impact player. He's had 3 wide open looks.
Nahara misfires. Iverson, the long rebound, puts it right back up and in. He's got 6 points. J.R. Smith set to check back in for Denver. Bryant misses. Anthony. Nice pass ahead to Klaiza. Blocked from behind by Bryant. Iverson with a good hustle on the follow. Klaiza felt he got hit. George Karl feels the same, yelling at official Mark Davis. 6-second difference between shot and game clock. Bryant kicks it out. Farmar, another three. Canby the rebound. Denver with plenty of time. Nice outlet pass. Beautiful feed from Canby. Now the Nuggets within 4.
Right now the Lakers, the team not getting back defensively.
Kobe Bryant at the buzzer. Just short, and that will end the first quarter. As the Nuggets, after trailing by as many as 10, go on a 6-0 run. Carmelo Anthony with 10 points. Meanwhile, Pau Gasol leading the Lakers with 8. First quarter complete here at the Staples Center. George Karl and his 8-seeded Denver trying to pull off the upset here in the first round. It's game 1. They trail by 4 after 1.
Thanks for watching ESPN on ABC.
He starts at center, plays forward and guard, and the most valuable player is Magic Johnson.
Home of the NBA Finals.